Me personally, as the chair of the Young Leaders, I wish I had a million Greg Summerhays. Through our wives, I've got to know Greg before we even became a young leader, and I remember showing up at the very first meeting that we had as young leaders almost 5 years ago, 6 years ago now. And I was thrilled to see that Greg was there because he's the kind of person that I wanted to associate with. And I was thrilled that I had the opportunity now to work with him on a regular basis. Greg shows up, he's an advocate, he does everything that a young leader should do. He's involved in the community, he gives back to his community, and he makes the community a better place.
The reason I've been such a long-term supporter of the United Way is mainly due to their mission and their vision of helping children and families to have opportunities, regardless of their situation, around the areas of education, income, health-related issues, as well as making sure that their basic needs are met.
Greg was selected as Young Leader of the Year because Greg has done everything that we've asked of him as young leaders and more.
Greg is the perfect example of what a young leader is. He's a young business professional who is passionate about the mission of United Way of Salt Lake and the work that we're doing in our community.
I strongly believe, like the United Way does, that everybody deserves a chance in life. And there really are lots of barriers out there that keep people from achieving their goals. And I love the work that United Way does because it helps remove those barriers so that kids and families can reach their full potential. One experience I have that always stands out in my mind when somebody asks me why I'm involved with United Way is when I was working to help set up welcome centers for the Immigrant and Refugee Integration Initiative. And we were going around touring different facilities, and one of the facilities we toured, there was a group of maybe 30 recently arrived refugees, and they were participating in an English class. And I distinctly remember when we walked down in that room, that group of individuals, have obviously been through a lot of trauma in their life and a lot of hardship. And you could just see in their eyes the difficulties that they have faced. But at the same time, as you watched them interact in this group, learning English, you could see the hope that they had. So for me, that moment really hit home, and whenever maybe it gets difficult to give back or find the time, I always look back on that experience and remember, you're just doing a little part, but what you're doing is really changing people's lives. And if you go back and you visit some of those refugees or see, where they are now 2 years later, they're speaking English, they have jobs, they're, supporting their families, their kids are receiving a great education. So their lives are totally different than they would have been without the help of United Way. I'm honored to be recognized as the Young Leader of the Year. I don't really feel like I deserve this award because there's so many other individuals that do so much, but I do feel honored to be a part of such an amazing group of young professionals that are working to make and create change in our community. So it's great to be associated with such a group, and I thank United Way for this recognition.
Thank you, Greg, for all that you do. Congratulations on being the 2012 Young Leader Member of the Year.
Greg, congratulations. There isn't a more deserving young leader for this award. Frankly, I'm surprised it's taken this long for us to recognize your efforts. You're a tremendous example and a tremendous asset to the young leaders.